as well. I will copy in one YouTube channel, and I'll say the same. I have one email ID. I'll copy there, and you can go and take a look. Rather putting in somewhere in Google Drive, let's put it in a private channel, the YouTube private channel. That's going to be helpful to you. Go back and take a look in previously what we have done. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So, Sirisha, let's create one API. Go to REST API. If you go into SOAP, let me go to SOAP. Can you select the SOAP? Here, there is asking the project name and the initial WSDL file. The WSDL file consists of the XML and HTML data, that data which is talking about the APIs. Whoever developed the APIs, the development team, they will create the WSDL file. When you importing the WSDL file to the SOAP UI, it will create a API mapping. So you can able to test those APIs directly if you have the WSDL file. This is only for the SOAP. Another REST services and SOAP services. And this is only applicable for SOAP project. If you're going for the REST, just cancel it. Here we have the URI, and there is the option to import WADL file. But unfortunately, we do not have a WADL file. Now we have the URI files. I provided you.
WSDL and WADL.
It's WSDL basically, it's a SOAP services. They use WSDL. The REST services, they use the WADL. That is only the difference. The abbreviated word I forgot. I can Google it. And
I can tell WSDL, but I'm not sure about WADL. Web services description language is for WSDL, but I'm not sure about what is WADL.
I forgot about that. I need to.
Okay.
Means full form. Let me Google it. I don't know.
Web application description language or
yeah, the web application descriptive language.
Okay.
Description language.
Yeah, description language.
Probably this has to be. You guys need to remember this. If maybe that may be interview questions. We never know. Okay, just keep the one of the URI. Any one of the URI. I provided you some of the URLs here, right? They have that link. The WhatsApp page, I think there are some URI pages, links which I provided to you previously.
I sent everything to my email. I'll take this one.
Anything is fine.
You said URL or URI, Sridhar?
URI. The URI is nothing but
these are all URLs, no?
The basically universal response, right? In universal request, I can say URI, right?
Can I take this one then?
Yeah, anything is fine. Sorry, URI is basically uniform resource identifier.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to brush up the previous abbreviations. Okay, you got one request, right?
Can I run this?
Yeah. So can you add in a multiple request? Can you add one or two more? Go to REST project. No, not here. Not here. I don't want to do this here. Go to REST project one.
REST project?
Yeah, you can add it under REST project one. Yeah, click there. Add new REST service from URI. Sixth item, I think, in the top, from top. Yep. New REST service from URI. Yeah, that is the one.
Yeah. So one more URI.
Yeah, you can create 3 or 4. We have the list of URIs. Then
Yeah, I have 3 now.
3. You can add 4. Last item.
Yeah.
All right. So you have total 4 URLs, right?
Mhm.
You can create one test suite.
Here.
Yep. Right click, new test suite. The new test suite, I think it's a third one, third block, third or fourth block. Otherwise, you can create control plus T. Select on
Test
that.
suite.
You can create generator test suite.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Create.
One test case for each resource. Shall I click OK?
Click OK. What happens?
We have to use the test suite name.
Okay. That is the API, right? What we have selected. Click OK.
Yes. I'll keep this name only, or you want
Yeah,
to change the name?
that's okay. See now what happened if you see here, and this is a test suite, right? You can click the run button, then you can able to execute directly. This is the request. This is a different way of creating the test suite. And earlier Vandana has created multiple test suites, one test suite, then she added test cases. In the test cases, the URLs which we have added, it has been added. Now you are directly clicking to create your own test suite. You can expand the lower left hand side preview.
This one?
The left hand side, come to the left hand my workspace, come to the bottom one. Yeah, expand it.
This one?
Yeah, expand. That is a test case. Let expand the test case. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
So
Test
now,
case.
yeah, this is the test suite on top one. This is the test case.
Okay.
Okay. But again, you can go back to the second API which you have created, the archive.org. Select on the archive.org.
Right.
This https:/archive.org, right? You can select that one.
Yeah, okay.
Right click. Generate test suite, right? So here you will ask the question, test where you want to create. You want to create a new, select the drop down. No, don't click OK. There is an option.
Okay. Okay.
So you can select the previous test suite. You want to add this test case to the previous test suite.
Okay.
Then you can create, select OK. Now what happened? So there are 2 test cases has been added to your previous test suite.
No, here it is here.
Okay. And can you select on the test suite name? Test suite. This is the test case, right?
Okay.
Your test suite is HTTPS API, not that is a URI which you have added. Can you scroll, come down a little bit? That is a Microsoft logo, right? That is called test suite actually. The 4 squares. Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, that
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Right click, select and right click. Can you rename it? Mark it as something like training test suite. Okay. Click OK. Vandana, this is the different option. You see the difference, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm going through, Sridhar. Like whatever I have done, the procedure was completely the way different from this.
Correct. The previously what you have done, you have added the URI, you created a test suite, and you created one more test case under the test suite, and
Yes.
you added the API. Here, what are the APIs is already there. She automatically creating the test suite, which is
Okay.
adding. No need to create the manually, right? You don't
Yeah.
have much time to do that. There are options. There are multiple options to do that.
Okay.
And can you create one more? Can you add one more API to training test suite, Sirisha? Click the, not that one, right? No, don't do that. Cancel. Select boardapi.com, right?
This one?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Right click.
Generate test suite.
Correct. And you can add to the training test suite. Okay, now there are total 3 test cases, right? Can you right click the training test suite? So what are the options we have? Here we can new test case, clone test case, launch test runner. You can launch the test runner here. Here, the option, right? You have the option, you can launch it. This project is not saved. You have to save your project. Go to file and save the project. Save all projects. Correct. Yes. So once you have saved the project, it will be stored in your local directory. You can able to, again, bring back to your project once you have done your work, or whenever you want, you can open it. All right, you can double click once. Just double click in the test suite.
Here?
Yeah.
It's already expanded.
Yeah, double click.
Nothing is happening.
Can you close the training test suite once?
Here?
Yeah, that one you can close. You can double click now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now you can run it here. There is total 3, right? See, now if you see here, the total 3 test cases which you are executed, correct?
Yes.
So it's the 2 options here, right? You can double click and execute the suite, which you can able to see the direct test results, or you can launch your test runner.
Okay. Here. Okay. Yeah, got it.
ఏమండి ఒకసారి ఇక్కడ రమ్మా.
Yeah, Vandana, mute. Don't scare Vijay, Vandana.
I'm sorry, I thought I was on mute. Sorry.
That's okay. Okay. So Sirisha, you have the idea right now, right?
Yes, yes.
There is a 2 options. Vandana, you also see here.
Yeah,
There's
here
a 2
too.
options.
Yeah.
The launch, you can again go to the training test suite launcher. You can close this.
Yeah.
ఇలాగే ఉంది
If you double click here, it will open.
Correct, correct.
Then what about these 2 options?
Can you select it? Select test case running.
One by one or something parallel hybrid?
Correct. In the sequence or in the parallel.
Yeah.
The sequence is nothing but I want to run one after other. If take an example, I have 100 APIs. Okay, sometimes what happen? I want to run after one API, I need to run the second API. There is a linkage. The concept is workflow, right? Once it is finished, then only it is possible to run the second one. Once the second is finished, the third one we need to run. That time we have to go by sequence.
Okay.
The parallel is I can able to run all the test cases together. Even if you run everything together, it's going to be executed in the parallel. Then it can be get the test results. You need to run the APIs based on application requirements. Don't run directly. These all things has to be, you need to remember. Sequence on parallel. Parallel is always everything together. Now you are running as a parallel.
Yeah.
Sirisha, it's not a sequence. You can select the sequence option. There is option, right?
Yeah.
Select sequence. Now you can run.
It will, yeah.
Go to parallel. Select the parallel. Run it. All things together, right? Now you have a 3 test cases. That's the reason you're able to see parallel, and the sequence. If you don't have number of test cases, you cannot see this option.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now you have added the test cases and executed the test cases. The next option. This is all in methods in a get methods, right? Can you add one more, the last, the cocktaildb.com, right? Can you right click, generate test suite, training test suite. Okay. Can you close this test runner?
Should I close everything?
No, don't close everything. Can you scroll down as expand, select the test case and also expand a little bit. That is also plus button is there, right? Can you select the request? Double click. Okay. So here few things, right? And there are few options are available. I'm going to the endpoint, the resource method. I'm selected as a get, right?
Yeah.
Can you double click on the get method there? The resource method. Generally it will not allow. Can you have to select in the test case? Can you go to request in the left hand corner? Yeah, that is the request. The raw and request. You have selected the raw data right now. There is a small tab in the
Okay.
request.
Yeah. Raw and request. Yeah.
Can you select on the Margarita query?
I did not get to see that.
Yeah, can you go to request?
Okay.
And come to the right hand side? There is a one row, query resource name, yes, value, Margarita style query resource. You can select that.
This
Yep.
one?
That is the one, because that is the value which is sending through request. Okay, that is what which is mentioned in the API /JSON value v1v search is equal to the value they given for this cocktail database. So that is the value which is coming out. So if you see here, and we always go into the endpoint, can you click the plus button? Okay. So these are the accessions. We have multiple accessions. We have to understand when these accessions we have to utilize. Okay. Which one we would like to go for? The contains, right? Yeah. The search of the existing for the string token, the property values about the regular expression. So I would like to add, the contains option. Click add button. So what contains in a session? Specify options. And I would like to contain that is some kind of a cocktail information which is they talking about. I would like to go for a different contains which is contains. You want to ignore that case. Take an example. There is a two names. One is the Sirisha, other one is the Vani. So if I contains only the specific information contains, these assertions work in the two way. If it is a contains, the next step what we have to do, it's a pass or fail. Ignore. If it is only the assertion value which contains, you have to ignore. There is an option, right? Ignore case. Yeah. And also
contains means we are checking whether we are whatever value we are giving it is present or not in the test case, like that. Or
see, there is so many options, right? There are regular expressions. The regular expression are and you can use both. Okay. Are and are. So there is a difference, right? Yeah. And means it's contain both. Are means it anything. Or ignore means you have to ignore. Okay. That is a logical. Okay. That is only for the content which is going to be mentioning here. I would like to give you the content equal to, something which is feasible for that. This API, I'm not sure what we can give. That is for container session. There is so many other sessions. Can you cancel this Sirisha?
Yeah.
Click one more time plus button. So the property content and JSON path count, JSON path existence math.
They're not
And
enabled, Sridhar.
yeah, no, because it's not applicable to that API. That's the reason it's not enabled. If it is applicable to that API, it automatically enables. See here, not contain, searches for non-existence of string token that a property and value. If the property, the property is equal to value, right? The property I gave you some XYZ, the value is warning. It does not contain that value, it's going to be returning back. That is SLAs. SLAs is going to be, we are setting up the service level agreements to make sure to get those parameters. I would like to go for SLA. Go to SLA once. And we talk about this response SLA, right? You remember, Sirisha?
Yeah.
Let's click add button once.
Okay,
So this is 200 millisecond, right?
Mhm.
If API is responding back only 200 milliseconds, within the 200 milliseconds or within the 500 milliseconds, that is the expected scenario. The response, right? It should be coming as, take an example, I would like to give 100. Let's give 100. Okay, click OK. And just run it once. It is failed.
Yeah.
Why it is failed?
Because it should be run like 200 seconds. We change the value.
Yeah, the response did not meet. What is the SLA here?
200, but we gave 100.
No, the SLA we gave it as 100. The response we got it is 291.
Yeah, 91. Okay, so it did not meet the expectations.
Yeah, it did not meet the SLA. So the API is got failed.
Okay.
So what we have doing here, the API request is sending correctly, but we are adding some of the assertions. Those assertions are not meeting by the API. So that's the reason it is getting back as a failed.
Okay, got it.
So let's go for other assertion. So script. Select, add. See here the script is, I want to create a log. Invoke with a log. I would like to customize. Anything which you can write in a script is invoked. Take an example. I would like to invoke an application or message and exchanging the variables. Variables is nothing but you have to declare the variable and you can able to pass it in a script. Generally you don't write the script assertion, but maybe in the future if you are expertise in the API testing, you may write it. That is one of the area which you can write the script. When the script is invoked with a log, the context and message exchange variables which need to be updated. Can you close this and can you go back to the previous one more session? I would like to. Can you click one more plus button one more time? Okay, go to compliance and status and standards. See here, this is the some of the areas which we use, SLAs and compliance and status standards. Okay, let's select invalid HTTP status codes, right? Select, add. We discussed about the status codes previously. You all are remember?
Yes.
So the get status code is a 200, right?
Mhm.
I would like to give is a 500. Let's give the 500. Okay. Click run. Can you select the sessions? So what it is showing in a session values? Can you scroll down?
Yeah.
Yep. So these are all the response back, right? Our sessions may be in the bottom of the page. This APIs is big.
Yeah.
Can you select the sessions here? Sessions tab. Can you expand the page a little bit? Yep. Script session is valid because we are not given anything. The invalid HTTP code is valid because it is coming as a 200, but we gave it 500, but it will not take it because the HTTP we are giving against value, right? Let's give it to 200. Go back to our sessions once.
One more plus button or?
Yeah, one more plus button. I go to our contents.
Content?
Yeah. Actually, we need to update it, right? The previous session, not adding.
Edit, we have to edit.
Yeah, can you click in the left hand? Yeah, the plus button there. Yeah, in the bottom. Yep. Edit or update. Can you click the invalid HTTP status code? That is edit, right?
Added only one cell.
Yeah, where are the session which is okay? Configure.
Configure?
Okay, select the configure once.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, can you change it to 200? Okay. Never ever gives spaces or enter.
Yeah, yeah. Now it is saying failed.
It is failed. Basically, it's getting the 500 error earlier, I think so. Correct?
I did not see it either. Maybe.
Okay, we can see it in the logs. That's where we need to do a request log. Can you open the request log? Session bottom of the page. Go to request log.
Yeah.
When you're saving the request log, can you select the request log?
Yeah, this one I opened.
Yeah, yeah. You can request, select the request log. Any one of them you can select.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. Double click, generally request log will be open.
Nothing is happening.
Otherwise, you can save the log, then we can copy to clip, export to file or copy to clipboard. Yeah. Can you open the note? Can you open the notepad?
I'll open one more.
That's the 130 times flies. So we do have the logs, right? So these are the basic sessions. You know how to create the sessions, and you know how to modify the sessions. Can you go back to one more time plus button? There are a few more sessions, and let's discuss those items. And go to compliance. Most of the times we use compliance, because these compliance may be utilized for their own audit purpose. The valid HTTP status code that checks that the target tester received HTTP result, the status code, the list of defined codes. The list of defined codes is nothing but you have to Google it. What are the list of defined codes? Take an example. Why I'm talking about HTTP response codes. 400 is not found, 500 is error, but you are getting a not found error, but the status code is showing is a 500.
Okay.
That's not the expected, correct? So the expected should be 400 for not found, but that is also you have to put it in a SLAs for a valid HTTP status codes. So for a 200 is okay, right? Everything is okay. It is 200, but your API's response is throwing back as a 400 instead of 200.
Okay.
It is a problem or not?
Yes, it's a problem.
It is a problem. That time, we have to use the valid status HTTP code. And some of the things, scroll up, addressing request, addressing response, we don't use much. There's SOAP response, SOAP request, that is the request and response, SOAP fault. Schema compliance is basically, this is the API schemas, which is WSDL, WDL schema definitions. But if you use the both files, we should have the compliance, schema compliance. If we are not using that, right now we are not using any WSDL or WDL schema, right? We are using URI. So I don't think so it's going to be applicable. But if we are using those file system, we can able to use the schema compliance. You need to speak with the developer to understand what compliance which has to be provided for this particular accession. All right. Okay, check the latest received message does not expose sensitive information about target system. Okay, this is the sensitive data, right?
Yeah.
Take an example, my social security number. When we are testing in a public APIs, you are showcasing in the public data. That time, those sensitive data should not be displayed in the APIs until we are not authenticated.
Okay.
Correct?
Yeah.
So those kind of data, if something is coming through the APIs, that's a problem. So we have to put some of the assertions. So sensitive information exposure. If that is a sensitive, but it is coming as per the assertion value, then it's a problem. So it has to be failed that API. Okay. Can you select one of them and just you will get an idea. Add. Okay, you can plus. What is the token? There are token values. Can you open Postman once? That's okay. You can open just the Postman. Just cancel it. Sirisha, can you open the Postman once if you have the handy?
Yeah, I opened, but okay. I need to share.
Okay, it's okay, not a problem.
Oh my God. 1 second.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you go to authorization tab on the right hand side below get? Yeah, there is authorization. Yep. Go to type. See here, there are API key, bearer token, and a basic authenticator. Generally, most of the companies, they use OAuth 1.0 and OAuth 2.0. These are the authorizations. Basically what happened, you have to provide the key. Without key, you are getting a sensitive data through APIs. Anybody can extract the data from anyone, right?
Yeah.
So these are some of the authentication mechanisms like username and password, right? When you're giving the username and password, they will create a bearer token and it will go into the server and your token is authenticated. If you are a valid user or not. If the token is authenticated and it is passed, then only it will enter into the server and the server will authenticate. Afterwards, the response will be generated back to the client side. A request is going to an authorization token. Once it is authorized, the response will be triggered back to the user. Okay, you got to know that this is important thing. They will ask how you will authorize your APIs or your authorization specifically. This is one of the tab. Even you are going to the SOAP UI as well, there is authorization mechanism. These are the options which you need to remember, especially bearer token and a basic auth and OAuth. OAuth 1.0 is the older version. Now most of the team they're using OAuth 2.0. API key is a regular one and there is a last one. Yeah, there is AWS signature that is recently, which is coming for cloud-based applications. That is AWS signature. Mostly basic auth, a bearer token, or OAuth 2.0 or OAuth 1.0. These are the authentication authorization keys. Generally, you select one of the OAuth 2.0. So it is asking for access token. You have to provide the access. This access token will be provided by development team. And some of the companies, they have a tools to generate these access tokens, because you cannot create multiple users, right? In the front end to generate a access token, there is some privileges, one of the applications. They will provide you. Now the APIs you don't need, you have to test every day, right?
Yeah.
You can't create multiple tokens. So that tool will help you to create a token. You take that token and going back to the authorization code, and you will update that token. Generally, it will expire in within a day. In the next day, you need to update a new token. Okay, please remember this authorization tokens, APIs. When you're doing the API testing, these authorization tokens are important. Otherwise, your API request will be failed. You have to be authenticated your API. Right now, what I provided is a regular APIs. It is by default authorization because it's a public APIs. When you're using the private APIs, it has to be authenticated like a username and password. In the front end, use the username and password. APIs, we use authentication mechanism. Okay, can you go back to the SOAP UI? Sirisha, you had a pretty much idea right now, right?
Yeah, but as we are here, Sridhar, I saw in some videos, they are giving some validations here, assertions here. So there are some examples here, but you gave some requirements to, but I don't know how to write that validations here.
Okay, I'll give you some examples. No worries.
Okay.
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 So can you go back to, we should have the APIs, Sirisha. Without APIs, we can't do anything. You can write it. I can give you, examples. Probably I can give you a few examples. Probably that will help you to understand. And can you go select one more session, the last session? We are talking about the security, right? Sensitive information exposure, add. Sin will be added once. Okay, you already added. To configure. Not that is, I think you selected right click.
Yeah.
And you can select 1+ button. You are given enter token, it's some XYZ token. Give the 1 to 10 number.
Or
generally it consists of numbers and digits. There are algorithms generally. Those algorithms will generate authenticated code. It's a 32-digit, 64-bit, 32-bit. Based on that size, it will generate the token. And just select a number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say, you'll get an idea, right? Okay, and you can give the description. This is the bearer token. Yeah, OAuth 1.0. Take an example. Enter the description. Okay, click OK. Okay.
Now run.
You can run it. What happens is you'll see that
it's saying valid.
Because that is nothing is right. It's not actually is the right
Yeah.
one. Actually, the response is
It's not
right.
supposed to accept.
Yeah, this is the public APIs, right? Even the GET request is failed actually. Yeah, because we have mixed up a lot of other things, right?
Yes.
Can you go to one more time sessions? Let's see now we have any other sessions are available. Compliance status, property content. JDBC is basically it is connected to the database. Select JDBC in the left-hand corner, the last one.
They are not enabled, Sridhar. These two are not enabled. Yeah.
Okay. Can you go to last one, the property content? That's where we have not used property content. I think we have used that, right?
Which
Like,
one? This one?
no, the first one, the property content. I think that we are already, we
Yeah.
already discussed about this in the XQuery match. And yeah, that is going to be, matching node contents. It's a JSON. Most of the REST services are JSON objects. We can write, JSON path and, regular expressions and mix and match. That's going to be helpful. And go to the last one, the security one more time, or SLAs. Security is done, SLAs, only a response SLA. Okay.
Yeah, I think we
That's
covered
pretty
that.
much into the sessions, right? And anything you went through your recorded sessions?
Yeah, this much only see there.
Okay. So can you go to headers? There is a small buttons is available, not in the same, yeah, can you bottom, come down,
Yeah.
come down, headers, attachment,
Okay,
representations.
yeah. Headers.
Okay, can you add the header? You can add the header here, plus button, click the plus button. The header name you can add if you would like to add any headers, and you can provide the value. Header one, like, you can pass the value is 1, 2, 3, 4, or what are the data which you want to pass it. We can add multiple headers to the API. Okay, and you can select.
What are these headers, Sridhar?
These are the API headers,
Okay. Mhm.
attachments. Generally, we don't add any attachment to APIs, but
Okay.
if needed, we're going to be adding. You can go to the headers in the right hand side, the JSON header side. That is the left hand side, the
Yeah.
API.
Yeah.
You see here the header, and headers is the value.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're talking about API headers. What we are talking, content type, cover. If you see in the Postman, the same thing in headers is available.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you open the Postman? Here we have the headers, right? The header 7. These are the headers you are talking about. You're right. These are the response headers, right? The request headers is,
Request headers, yeah.
yep. You can add the request headers if you would like to, and that is coming back from the response header. Okay, you have to understand there is a two difference. One is a request, other one is coming back as a response. The same thing in the SOAP UI. The left hand side, you see the request header, and the response header is coming from the right hand side. Okay.
Okay.
And here there is a AU. I don't know what is that AU dot dot, the first one, authentication and security. Okay, can you open that? So here authorization, right? Add new authorization and go to the basic, the same thing which we discussed previously. Okay, that you have to add the token, the basic domain and the token. Without that, it will not going to be moving. If you're going to be OAuth, domain name and password, username, everything.
Credentials here, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. In the Postman directly, it is asking for a token, right? Here, there is an option to use global preference authentication preemptive, but you are selected in a different option there. That is the reason it is showing. Go to the authentication and change to basic to OAuth. And OAuth to the, yep, select OAuth 2.0, the profile, yeah.
Okay.
Then scroll down. Access to authority is acting.
Yeah.
Okay. Based on that, whenever you change the different authentication mechanism, it will ask you the different options.
Okay.
So these are the basic steps which you need to follow for API testing. Okay. I'm not done anything today, Sirisha. You have done everything yourself, right?
Yeah.
I'm just explaining to you. Vandana, you also did yourself.
Yeah, Sridhar.
Now you have the idea, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm asking you, all of you, I provided around 25 to 30 APIs, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
In the SOAP UI, all the 25, 35 APIs test cases need to be added here.
Okay.
and you have to add at least one session per API.
Okay.
Okay, and it has to be under 2 test suites. Okay, there is a,
What do you mean by 2 tests?
there are 20 APIs, right? 10 APIs under one test suite,
Okay.
10
Yeah.
APIs in the
Under one
different
test. Yeah, got it.
test suite. Okay.
Okay.
So now we can run it 2 different test suites. I want to run only one test suite, I can run it. I want to run the next test suite, I can run it. So that level of information or you need to experience, right? When you are running the test cases, that is coming with the SOAP UI. See, now you have pretty much is done the SOAP UI and you can able to see the test result. There are few options is available, a report section, and it's already across 742. Maybe we can discuss in a little later, the report section. There are logs actually in the bottom. It's a SOAP UI log, HTTP log, HTTP log, error log, and the bottom.
Yeah. Okay.
These are the log files. Generally, whenever you send the request, it will create the log. You have the test suite, and it will be generated by log. And go to the file once. And report suite. Can you go to suite project and suite once, Sirisha? And
Which one?
project. Go to project. There is a one report actually. And,
Documentation you're talking about?
yeah, I think the documentation
Yeah,
somewhere.
documentation.
Somewhere I forgot about where exactly. Um, I'm not
Maybe-
sharing it, right? Otherwise,
maybe in help-
yeah, it is little difficult to me to go through each and every area.
No, maybe in help we can have the documentation.
No, but I have seen somewhere.
Oh, okay.
The report, okay.
No, not in this one.
Separate documentation, some option will be there.
Right. Can you go to project launch HTTP runner?
Launch test runner.
Test runner. Yeah. Can you select launch test runner? Yep. Oh, this is coming as the same thing. Okay, that's fine. That's
only somewhere.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, but that is what going to be homework today. And
Shreya, just let me repeat. Homework is we need to create 2 test suites. At least each should have 10 APIs.
I provided you tons of APIs, Vandana.
Yeah,
You
I
can
know, I
add
know.
the multiple APIs.
For homework, you said at least we have 10 APIs in each test suite, right?
Correct. By
And-
next Tuesday, we should have that APIs.
Okay.
And we're going to be talking about the bug life cycle next Tuesday. If something is failing, how we need to submit the defect.
Okay.
Okay.
And also need to add an assertion for each API, right?
Correct. At least one assertion.
At least one.
One. If you're adding more assertions, I'm happy. But try something, right?
Okay.
So we will try to use the ready API next time. And this is only 15 days we have option.
You have the licensed version?
No, I don't have license version. I have in my office, but not my personal laptop. I don't want to use my office laptop here for this training. Okay, Vani, are you able to understand at least some of things?
Yeah, I will try SOAP UI.
Okay.
I will add a URL.
Okay, it is easy, right? I provided you all the APIs.
Yeah.
What Sirisha has done, what Vandana has done. I can ask you the next time. So you will share your screen and you can work on yourself. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Any questions so far? This is already crossed 15 minutes more.
I'm good, Sridhar. I have no questions.
Okay, excellent. Please do the homework and also try to learn HTTP methods and HTTP transaction response codes.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to be asking assertions and methods and transaction codes, HTTP response codes these are some of the important things which need to be completed. And it's been last 2 weeks we are learning APIs. I would like to wrap up, and next week onwards I would like to focus on performance testing and load testing. This is going to be giving a high level view because we have done the APIs. So once we have done the API training course, we can learn the performance testing. It's going to be easy for you. Mostly we can work on APIs only in the performance testing as well. And also before coming next week, install Fiddler in your
What is that,
machines.
Sridhar?
Fiddler. I will send the link.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So it's going to be helpful to you to understand track, tracing, right?
Yeah.
I will send you the link, how to use that Fiddler installation, Fiddler Classic installation. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And thank you all. We'll
Yeah,
meet on
okay,
next
Sridhar,
Tuesday.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you, Shreya.